What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are enjoying your day. Happy New Year to all. Yes, we have finally made it to 2020, a whole new decade, which means new opportunities. So let's start this year and this decade off the right way. We got our NFL playoff bracket here. We got the teams. Time to make some predictions. Who I believe is going to the Super Bowl. I got my picks, and I'm going to make them right now. Now, I'm not going to go too in depth with it in this video because I do plan to make a wild card video prediction. So we'll see how that goes, but I will give you a little snippet of which teams I pick and why. So let's get into it. So we're going to start off with the Tennessee Titans heading up to New England to face off against the Patriots. I'm going to take the Patriots in this game. I just can't see myself picking against Tom Brady and Bill Belichick in New England. It just feels like one of those games where even though they're not the better team, the Tennessee Titans are clearly the better team right now. They're one of the hottest teams in the NFL. They finished the season as one of the hottest teams. Ryan Tannehill's playing out of his mind. Derrick Henry is a beast, and the Titans have been rolling. But I just cannot pick against New England in Foxborough. I can't do it. Until I see somebody go up there and beat these guys, I'm not picking against them. So I'm taking the Patriots. Next, we got the Bills taking on the Texans. I'm going to go with the Texans in this game. I just feel like I have more faith and trust in Deshaun Watson than I do in Josh Allen at this moment, because the Bills offense, the Bills defense, no question, the Bills defense is great. And I do love them. They have a better defense than the Texans, but I just don't trust that offense, man. That Bills offense is way too inconsistent. Meanwhile, with the Texans offense, they can be explosive. They got explosive players. You got Stills. You got, of course, DeAndre Hopkins. They got guys over there that can make big plays. And I just have more faith in Deshaun Watson than I do in Josh Allen at this moment. Josh Allen's going to continue to improve, but I already know where Deshaun Watson is, so I'm going to take the Texans. Next up, we got the Minnesota Vikings heading to the Dome to face off with the New Orleans Saints. No question, I'm taking the New Orleans Saints. I have complete faith in Drew Brees, and I have absolutely no faith in Kirk Cousins going on the road in the playoffs, in the Dome, and taking down Drew Brees and Saints. I do not see that happening. No question, I got the Saints winning this game. It's not even a competition. The Vikings ain't got a shot. They're not winning that game. Next, we've got the Seahawks taking on the Eagles. I'm going to go with the Seahawks here, even though you got both teams that are very depending on their quarterback. You know, the Seahawks go as far as Russell Wilson will take them. They are very Wilson dependent. The same for the Eagles, because Carson Wentz basically dragged this team to the playoffs. They've got nobody. They've got no receivers. He's throwing to no-name receivers. Carson Wentz was the only quarterback that threw for 4,000 yards and didn't have a single receiver have over 500 yards receiving. That's crazy. He dragged that team to the playoffs, but he just doesn't have enough right now. So I just can't see, even though the Eagles are at home in this playoff game, I just don't see what they could do to stop them. Plus, I don't trust that Eagles defense. They tend to give up a lot of big plays, and if you let DK Metcalf get past you and you let Tyler Lockett go off, it's over. I just have more faith in Russell Wilson, plus he's working with the better team, and Carson Wentz has nothing. So I gotta take the Seahawks in this game. On to the divisional round. We've got the Texans taking on the Ravens in the rematch from the regular season. We saw what happened the first time these two teams met in Baltimore. It was an absolute crushing. What was it? 41-7. It was an embarrassment. For this game, no question, I'm taking the Ravens. I do believe the game this time around is going to be much closer, and Deshaun Watson is going to have a better game, but overall, the Ravens are just a better overall team. Lamar Jackson is the MVP. He's playing at such a high level that I don't see him falling off. That defense is playing at such a high level. I see them getting to Deshaun Watson. However, the Texans are going to keep this competitive. They're not going to get blown out like they did in the regular season. They're going to keep this much more competitive. They're going to make plays, and they're going to keep this game close. But I have faith in the Ravens to get the job done at home, and they will be in the AFC Championship game this postseason. Next up, we got the Patriots taking on the Chiefs. The rematch of the AFC Championship game from last year. This is tough. I mean, this is very tough, but I got to go with the Chiefs. The Chiefs beat the Patriots in New England this season, and they're just a much better team. This is the weakest unit the Patriots have had this past decade. I don't see them going into Kansas City and upsetting the Chiefs, especially since the Chiefs are also a hot team right now, and Mahomes is getting healthy at the right moment. Also, the Chiefs defense has stepped it up, and they've been playing just completely different, a whole lot better. The last few weeks, the defense has just kicked it to a next level. They're playing at a high level. They're making stops. And I just have more faith in Patrick Mahomes getting the job done, because Tom Brady does not have much to work with on offense. Their offense is anemic and terrible, and their defense is starting to crack. So I have faith that Patrick Mahomes can get the job done this time, and they will be in the AFC Championship game against the Ravens this season. Next, we got the Seahawks taking on the 49ers in Santa Clara. This is a tough game because both these teams have beaten each other in the regular season. When Seattle went up to San Francisco and took on the Niners the first time, I felt like that was a game the Niners really lost more than the Seahawks won, because in overtime, even though the Seahawks were marching, Russell Wilson threw a terrible pick, and the 49ers were set up to win with a game-winning field goal. They didn't take advantage of it. They missed it, and Russell Wilson took advantage of that. So I felt the Niners should have won this game. But with the Sunday night game we just saw for the last game of the season, I felt the Seahawks should have won that game and kind of got screwed over a little by the refs. So it can go either way. When it comes to my prediction, I'm going with the Niners, because Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't have to have a great game in order for the team to win. He can have a subpar game, and that defense will carry him. If Russell Wilson has any sorts of bad game, he's not winning. They're going to get blown. If Russell Wilson's not put up a great performance in the postseason, his team's getting blown out by the Niners. No question. I'm taking the Niners over the Seahawks. Next, we got the Saints going up against the Green Bay Packers. This is not even a question to me. I'm taking the Saints. The Saints are playing at such a high level. I don't see any team right now beating them. Plus, the Green Bay Packers, I don't trust them. I feel like they're a little bit of a pretender, and I don't have much faith in them winning. Even though this is in Lambeau Field, which makes it tough, I do believe Drew Brees is set up. Being out for 5 games this season has given him enough rest to be on this hot streak, and I think they're going to ride it, and they're going to get to the NFC Championship game. I'm going with the Saints. Next, we got the AFC Championship game, Chiefs, Ravens. This can go either way. Both these teams are evenly matched, and they're both explosive on offense, and they got pretty good defenses. But I just believe right now, in all 3 phases of the game, the better overall team is the Ravens. Plus, they have home field advantage. I just see Lamar Jackson and that crew getting the job done at home and getting to the Super Bowl. It's going to be a very close game. It's going to be a high-scoring game, and it's going to be exciting. We need to see this matchup. Patrick Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson is must-see TV. But I think the Ravens, with all they have, they're just a better overall team, and I believe they will find a way to win that game at home and get to the Super Bowl. Next, the NFC Championship game between the Saints and the Niners. I'm going with the Saints. I've been riding the Saints bandwagon since last year. I think this is Drew Brees and Sean Payton's moment. They've been screwed over the last 2 seasons, from first the Minneapolis Miracle, then the screw up they got in the NFC Championship game. I think they're finally going to break through. It's going to be a tough game in San Francisco, but I like the Saints' chances. I'm going to give them the edge over the Niners, and I'm taking them to go to the Super Bowl. Now, we finally got our pick. The Ravens and the Saints in the Super Bowl. This is tough because Drew Brees is balling at this point, but the Ravens are by far, well, not by far, it's very close. They are the best team in the NFL. I believe the Ravens are the best team in the AFC and the Saints are the best team in the NFC, so these two matching up is going to be tough. I have to go with the Ravens in this Super Bowl, specifically because I have a little bit more faith in that Ravens defense and stopping Drew Brees and the crew, even though no one can guard Michael Thomas. I have more faith in the Ravens defense stopping Drew Brees than I do of the Saints defense in stopping Lamar Jackson. We saw what happened with that Saints defense when they went up against Garoppolo and they gave up 48 points. The Ravens haven't given up 40 points since week 3? Yeah, week 4. So I just have more faith and confidence in that Ravens defense to get the job done, and I think Lamar is going to shine on the biggest stage. Drew Brees is going to have an amazing game, but I think the Ravens are going to edge them out, and they're going to win the Super Bowl. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is my Super Bowl pick. These are my playoff picks. This is my 2019-2020 NFL playoff season bracket. Here it is. I got the Ravens winning the Super Bowl. And with that being said, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm out of here. Peace.